Let's peep the comps, shall we? Dude, it's been a while since I did this. Since I did like a free coaching thing. Okay, we have a Hanzo, Bap, Ana, Ram, Soldier for New Queen Street. It's not the worst comp I've ever seen. It's not bad. It's pretty good. I'm actually liking it. That's not too bad. They have... Okay, it's open queue. They have 2 tanks. A little bit of positioning, a little bit of mechanics. We're just going to see what we can do. Some pre-heal. Some spam. This is fine. Okay, we use Emort very, very early. Let's see exactly why we Emort here. Okay, we're looking at our Ana player. Okay, so our Ana player gets to half HP. And we throw Emort down on her. I don't like this. Bap player, real. Bap is mega overpowered, so I'm hoping for some good gameplay. Right, this is not good though, because right now, Ana is not really in enough danger to warrant this kind of reaction. Like, the only person actually attacking her is Ball. Her positioning's not great, but if the Ball is shooting her, the only thing you really need to be doing is like applying some heal to her and she'll be totally fine. I think we consider throwing Immortality Field down once this Genji engages. Once the Genji gets like kind of close to her, then Immort makes more sense. But currently, we're throwing Immort a little too early in the fight. I mean, like, this is a giant cooldown to be using so early on. So we'll see how it works. He throws it down. Ana does actually go crit, so, you know, not too bad. It turned out to be a good Immort. Good heal. I like it. I like the trying to do damage. I like the burst there too. This is pretty good so far. Yeah, okay, so he bursts because he just right-clicked, and his right-click is on its internal cooldown right now. He can't actually shoot another heal, because he just shot a heal, like, literally, like, 100 milliseconds ago, so he's not going to be able to heal. So he instinctually bursts. This is very good. I'm very happy with this so far. I would prefer us to be up on the high ground, perhaps, because, I mean, like, imagine we're, like, up here, right, and we're, like, spamming down. We have, like... So we can apply so much pressure from these angles, especially if we're rotating here and we're shooting a bit deeper. And then we have also the safety to go back. And if we have to, we can always drop down and hide in here in the mega room. So I would have preferred us to be up in the high ground here. We are pretty clumped up. I think you, Hanzo, and Soldier realistically should be fighting for this high ground because it gives you such an advantage. So that's the main thing we're looking at so far, is our positioning. We're not really considering the fact that the enemy team is pretty dangerous, like, especially with their reset. Like, I mean, you're with your whole team, so you're probably not going to die, but, for example, if you do get in any danger, you're going to force your team's resources away from the actual fight and put them onto you, because you put yourself in a pretty dangerous spot. So, in general, if you can, fight for the high ground with your team, and then if you have the opportunity to take it, you should obviously take it in most cases. So right now it's actually not the end of the world, but the positioning is a little off. I love the damage. It's good damage. Does he kill the Kiriko? Alright, no problem. Good effort. Go up on the bus. Nice. Keep shooting Kiriko. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. That's pretty good. I don't know why your Ram is the one on car. I like the going back to get the Genji off the car. That's nice. We should be paying attention to our front line a little bit, though. I mean, like, we don't really know what's happening behind us. Like, what is actually going... I should turn on streamer mode, first of all. Okay, I mean, this doesn't look like the end of the world. If they engage on your team, though, it'd be nice if you were around. I do understand peeling back for the your Ram here, though, to try and force the Genji off the car so you start making car progress again. It's not a horrible decision. I would have stayed out with my team a little bit, because... Generally speaking, you're going to keep playing up on this high ground anyway, and say you're like up here, you can spam down heals at your team and fight whoever you get an LOS of, and if you see the cart is contested, you just rotate left side. If you can't see anything, you can drop down to the bus and fight, but generally speaking, pulling back kind of this far, especially if you're not going to be taking high ground anyway, you're kind of putting yourself at a disadvantage, because, I mean, up here, you can help fight, and obviously you can't see very well, but you can drop down, you can fight, you still have the angle on your team, and then you can just exo back up. So I'm not a huge fan of playing on the low ground here, but we'll see how it works out. He has no cooldowns. Just chase this guy. Chase this guy. Okay, he fucks up his movement a little bit, it's fine. I really hope he keeps chasing him. Okay, rough aim problems, but he does get the kill eventually. Good play. Chasing the Genji there, I like it. Pre-heal on his team, good. Now, we can be a little more aggressive here, right? Because we just killed Genji. We know Genji's dead. We have all 5 of our team alive. So we can just... Like, we don't really need to be all that scared. We press tab. Let's have a look at what the enemy team have. Who's the only real scary thing right now? It's the Keriko, where she can, like, tap you across the map. So we can just have a little walk out, have a look at what's going on, spam some damage, hopefully try and take some deeper angles. Like, even just like this, trying to secure an angle, like, over here. Because realistically, in a higher elo, your Hanzo is going to want to be kind of in here. You got, like, a ton of sightlines from here, and... if he ever gets flanked or spammed out, there's a Mega to retreat to, and he's got plenty of cover back here. So generally speaking, when you get to the higher ranks, especially Hanzo players, they're going to predominantly want to play around in this area because it's very, very safe and offers a lot of angles. So I would like for you to be kind of fighting for this angle a little harder, or at least going a little more aggressive on the enemy team because you know you're +1, so you don't really have a lot to be scared of, though I do understand being kind of scared of the carry count. This is good though. I mean, the Doom is feeding a little slow on the Immort. You hesitated quite a lot. Now, this is not kind of like a hard and fast rule because it can obviously vary. But if your Ana is pushed up this far, I mean, like, she's very, very aggressive. She's like the most advanced member of your team. So this Doom dives out. Let's actually watch it in like 0.25, right? So the Doom is coming down. She misses her sleep. At this point... the tree comes up, you have to MR her straight away because the Doom, you see her use the sleep and miss, the Doom is engaging on her, the only thing she has now to protect herself is her nade, and it's not going to save her when she gets punched into this wall. So as soon as you see this Doom engage your Ana like this and start going for punch, and especially when she's this close to a wall, just get the MR down on top of her because even if he goes for the punch and he doesn't kill the Ana, let's say you don't use MR and he doesn't kill the Ana, it's still not worth taking that risk, right? Because if you do MR your Ana here, you're not just MRing your Ana, you're also giving your team an opportunity to advance into the MR'd area, right? Where it's generally going to be a lot safer, where they can take a lot more damage and they don't need to be fearful of dying in that moment. It gives our Ana time to rotate back. Your team can rotate in, they can deal with this tree, whatever. But generally speaking, when this Doom is engaging on your Ana player next to like a wall like this, just toss the MR down on top of her. Because it's not worth the risk of her potentially dying to the Doom, regardless of our whole team being here. So, I just would have liked the MR to come out a little faster, but I can understand the hesitation. He also went for the burst. You don't need to burst here. Like, burst is generally a cooldown built for healing, like, mass number of like teammates around you or yourself, because in this moment, right, like the Doom engages, punches Ana into the wall, like look, everyone has essentially completely full HP except for Ana, so there's really no point, right? There's no point for using the burst because it's not like you're around a bunch of critical teammates, right? You're just around this Ana who needs help, so you're wasting this cooldown and you're not getting your other one off fast enough because you're stuck in this animation. Good effort on the MR. I would have liked it a little earlier. I don't like the window. We just lost a teammate. We're not in a great position here because the team obviously have this angle to look down on us on. They have this angle to shoot at us from. Since this space wasn't taken by your Hanzo player, they get free reign to walk on this platform. I mean, just a lot of danger, especially kind of in this area, especially when you lose an Ana, of all people. Popping window here is not very advantageous to your team because, I mean, like, what are you really looking to get out of this, right? I mean, like, assuming, like, you should assume the enemy team aren't going to make a mistake. You shouldn't hope at all. You should rely on actual good strategy. So let's say the enemy team play this perfectly. They're just going to take cover. They're not going to do anything. Maybe one of them will flank. Maybe one of them will take high ground. Maybe the one will go up here. And in all of those situations, this window is not useful. All you've done is given them extra resources that they didn't earn, right? So they didn't do anything to pull this resource out of you, okay? So using this window here is only good for the enemy team because they're just going to relax. They're not going to peek it. And if they do decide to do anything, it's going to be rotating on an angle where the window's not even usable. So putting this window down here was a big waste. Okay, our Ram is fighting though. This is fine. I would have liked you guys to walk out though. This is going to be a really bad stagger if we die here. Okay. This is fine. you need to prioritize your own safety a little bit more here. The way you're pathing out isn't great. So, in this kind of moment, right, there's a lot of things that we can be doing quite a bit better here. So, we're obviously going to be healing our team, which is fine. But where we are now is not safe. Because if we're exo jumping here, right, and let's say they're just like, they start shooting you, for example. For you to get into safety, you have to fall all the way to the ground, because you're exo jumping. So you have to fall down, you have predictable movement down to the ground, and then you have to either rotate by walking over here, behind this bus, or to the stairs, but if you do go to the stairs, you basically just die instantly. So your only option is really to go behind this bus, or to exo jump over the bus, or onto the high ground, or just in some way get some cover over here. So when you're spamming exo like boots like this, it might seem like you're avoiding more damage, but in reality, you're just inviting yourself to receive more because you have more predictable movement patterns. What would have been nicer is for you to not path down the middle of this road and for you to go, you know what, I know where my team is going. I can see them pathing out. I'm just going to rotate behind this bus early. I'm not going to use any exo boots. I'm just going to path behind the bus. And if I really, really have to, I'm just going to jump on top of the bus, do some damage, heal my team. And if I receive any pressure, I'll drop back. Because as soon as there's anything like pushing up on your team, at some point you're going to have to abandon them if your team start dying. So it's better to make as much distance from the team as possible because you're incentivizing your own safety, which is really, really important, right? It's really, really important that you try and stay alive here. But when you're pathing down the middle of the road like this, you're just inviting yourself to take unnecessary damage. Like, we're popping cooldowns we don't need either. Like, the burst, like, everyone is kind of hurt, but they're all stood on top of each other, right? So you can just pop a right click and you're going to help everyone. Again, like, the pathing isn't great. Like, look how much danger we're putting ourselves in because of the way we're exiting. We're walking down default, and then look, we're just like, look where we're standing, right? If you start getting pressured and you need to try to escape anywhere, you don't really have a lot of options. You have like maybe behind this thing, which isn't actually the end of the world, but like other than that, you really don't have many options. If you had pathed out like I told you to, you'd be already around this corner, you'd be making your way up the stairs, you'd be at this bus, you'd be up on this high ground, you'd be nearly up on this high ground, you could be up here. There's so many better options, but because you took this like long winding path of following the default exit, you've got yourself in a situation where you're stuck in the middle of the road, which is not really where you want to be. The Doom punches us. We're probably going to die for this. We immort to stay alive, that's fine. The Eureka kills our team. We just start running away, good. Now, again, if we had pathed out like I said, we wouldn't be in this situation where we're now fighting the team down 3. Keeping your Moira alive. Like, do you see how, like, all of this exo jumping is making you, like, way easier to kill? If you're going to exo jump here, do little hops, right? Because you're walking up a hill. So if you do a little hop here, you're going to just, like, cut this. So essentially, when you're walking, you're, like, very, like a straight line up this way. But if you're exo jumping, you've got, like, a little bounce to you where you, like, go up pretty quickly and then you instantly come to a stop because your feet are touching this ground and it's killing your momentum. So if you're going to be exo jumping here to try and dodge, do little hops because you're going to be hitting the ground sooner, meaning you can manipulate your movement faster, making you harder to hit. When you're doing these big jumps, you're super easy to hit. Like, let's have a look at how much damage you're taking before you're exo jumping and then while you're doing it. Like, when you're on the floor, it's not that much. As soon as you're in the air, tons of damage. As soon as you're falling, tons and tons of damage. And then you die because of it, because you're exo jumping all the time. It's okay, though. We come out of spawn. Our team is kind of staggering. They have no supports and they're going in. This is very rough. I like that immort. That's good. You didn't really have any other options, so yeah. Good immort. I'm a fan. Very proactive, too. Very just kind of like, I don't really have another option. I have to get my immort on him. I'm going to throw it and hope he backs into it. And if he doesn't, then I made the best play available. So I like that you weren't scared to use your cooldown there. That was nice. We are frontlining really, really hard, though. I mean, like, kind of look at where we are. We're ahead of everyone else on our team. Our Ram is flanking. Like, wouldn't it be way safer to be up on this high ground with our soldier? We can peek in and out. We can heal down if we have to. We can heal our soldier if we have to. And if we ever get pressured, we can always just like walk back a little bit. Because we have high ground advantage, they can't really do anything to get to us. Especially if our soldier's up here with us and we can help each other out. But down here, you're free reign to get spammed out, dive, take a shitload of damage. Like, if they focus you right now, they're going to force your cooldowns, which is going to be really, really strong for them in this fight. Because the fight hasn't happened yet. We're kind of poking, and we're making ourselves really vulnerable for no reason. Same with our Moira. Like, our Moira doesn't have to be doing this. Our Hanzo kills a Genji. Nice. Like, that regenerative burst doesn't even touch this guy. Like, you're not close enough to hit him. And the healing numbers it provides is not worth the cooldown, right? Like, think of regenerative burst as your like last option. It's either if you are gonna die without it, or someone is like a squishy is going to die without it. Like right now, we don't really need it because there's not a lot of people taking damage. The fight is like every single person on the enemy team right now is shooting your ram, so the regenerative burst, a lot of its impact is missing because its purpose is that it's supposed to be predominantly a heal to yourself, but also a heal to your team in case anyone else needs it that you can't pay attention to at the time. But right now, even if this burst did hit him, it's not really going to help all that much. You're burning like a pretty long, useful cooldown for yourself just to give this guy, what like 50 extra health or something. It's not going to matter. So if, like, for example, like the enemy Genji, if he wasn't dead, he would see this and go, you're fucking dead, and he would dive you. The Kiriko would see this and start shooting you instead. Like, there's so many things. Like, as soon as you start going against good players are going to see that burst, and they're going to go, kill Bap. No MR, no burst, we kill Bap, and everyone's going to start shooting you. Especially with positioning this aggressive, it's going to be really easy to kill you. Like, the regenerative burst didn't even matter. And look, now that you don't have it, the Doom kills you. You might have been stun locked a little too hard to use it anyway. Oh no, you were still stunned when you died. It wouldn't have mattered. Alright, no problem. We did lose this fight though, it's looking like. Although our Hanzo kills too. Their Doom kills us, obviously. They're not pushing car. This is good this is good from your team to stabilize here. I'm not mad at this at all. Your Hanzo's won, but it looks like he's going for a health pack. He's flanking. Okay. Getting back to our team. We shouldn't really be focusing on this Hanzo. This Hanzo's going to keep himself up. I like it. Good bit of damage. Trying to get heal back on our Hanzo. Totally fine. I'm liking this. All good. I think it's just played well. Again, like same issues as last time, right? Like look where we're standing. We don't need to be here. Like we're hit scan. Right? We have so much advantage up on the high ground. We want to be playing up there. Like you're gonna play BAP like you would play like a DPS, for example. You're gonna have similar positioning to a support player, obviously, because it's your main job. But you get a lot of advantage from positioning like a DPS player because you have DPS capabilities on top of your support abilities. So if you just play predominant like a DPS, you're gonna have way more advantage than you would like as a support. But currently, like this is just not a good place to be in general because you're super exposed and you're just giving up all the advantage you would have had you positioned better anyway. So even if there isn't necessarily like anything bad with this position, which even though there is, let's say there isn't for a second, even if there isn't anything bad inherently with the position, you're giving up on something that's really, really good, right? Like if you give up something really good for something just okay, you're still losing even if it doesn't kind of feel like it, right? Like you gain so much advantage up on the high ground, you want to be there. Who am I reviewing? Just some Plat support guy. He's playing open queue. I didn't know he was playing open queue, but we're watching it. Dude, anyone can put a VOD in. I would watch anyone's VOD. This is, see, like, this Kiriko is just like fucking us up now because we were so easy to start fighting. Yeah, look, and then instantly we're back up on this high ground, which is good. I hate this window. You're the only member of the team who can use it, and it's positioned so awkwardly that only one side is usable. Like, you can't really walk to the other side of this and use it to shoot back and dance between it, because the way you've put it on the edge. Drop in the comments, community post. I'll have a look at it after this. So you're fighting Kiriko. I like the melee. Good. Alright. Emore's good too. Just kill us them. Don't be scared of him. Nice. Okay. Window was problematic. Positioning wasn't great. But the Emort there was pretty good. I mean, like, you can't really get mad at that. I mean, even though it didn't kill you, and it wouldn't have killed you, I like that you weren't scared to use the cooldown to make sure that you realize your life was more valuable. Like, the risk of you dying was worse than just using the cooldown, which is very nice. I like that you're not scared to use your cooldowns. Good damage on the Bap. Obviously some mechanical issues, but like a little bit of aim training and you can fix this on your own. Nice. Are we going to go on the right? I'm not a big fan of us standing on point here. We're going to immort this. Nice. Good immort. Good burst. Great cooldown usage. Yeah, really, really good. I like this. We're pathing pretty far away from our team here, but that's fine. We're up on the bus. Good. Don't jump down. Don't jump down. Just shoot them. Don't heal Moira. Just shoot them. Shoot the them. Lovely. Perfect. Good job. Don't. Okay. So a lot of these times, you're seeing people who are absolutely dead. There's a lot of times on support where the best way to save someone's life is not to heal them. It's to kill whoever's killing them. Because there's a lot of situations here where, like for example, on this soldier, we'll watch it again, right? So we're fighting. Our soldier gets the Doom engaged on him. He loses a bunch of HP. At this point, you can gamble two things. You can either hope that the Doom starts missing and you manage to hit your heals, like impact heals, so you do more healing. Or you can say, fuck it, my soldier's dead, I'm going to kill the Doomfist. Now, it's up to you to decide which one you're going to do. There are some situations where you should 100% shoot the target instead of healing. There's other times where you should absolutely heal. So it can be difficult to try and figure out why. But in this situation, I would have preferred to shoot the Doom, because the Doom is already very low HP. Now, if we hadn't done damage to him, we wouldn't know. But I think we have. So I'm pretty sure we can see his health bar right now. I'll assume we can for simplicity. But currently, enemy team has just lost their Kiriko. I am willing to let my soldier die, who can rotate pretty quickly back from spawn, to almost guarantee a kill on this Doom. Because if you start shooting this Doom, and the soldier tries to survive as long as humanly possible, even if he only gets like an extra second or two of survival, that's enough for you to kill the Doom. So either he's going to run around and survive long enough for you to kill Doom, or he's going to do it and you're going to heal him. Either one is fine here. So it's generally just up to you, but keep in mind that in situations like this, you don't always have to heal. There's going to be times where the best option is to try and kill them over trying to heal your teammate. So in this situation, I think it's pretty 50-50. Whatever you choose would have been fine, but just keep in mind that sometimes consider actually dealing damage instead of healing, because sometimes that's what your teammate needs, not the heal, right? Because let's say you do land a heal, and this Doom just like full pellet left click melees the soldier, he's fucking dead anyway. I mean, that's assuming that the Doom would do that, and that's not generally a very good thing to do, or like to justify a certain thing. But like, if it did happen, the heal would have been worthless. But at the same time, if the Doom missed everything, the heal would be great. So it's pretty 50-50. I don't really mind what you do in this situation. Go for the heal. It misses. It is what it is. In this situation, though, like your Moira is like 170 HP, and she's damaging Doom, so she's gonna self heal. Doom is completely by himself. There's nothing here to help him. Just killed him. It does not matter if your Doom starts fighting Moira. Doesn't matter. Killed him. You both right now can kill him. He's like 0 health. We do not. It doesn't matter if we're shooting his block either. You can headshot him through his block. Drops his block, and then we just shoot him and kill him. Lovely. We try to heal the Hanzo. Doesn't work. No problem. Let's see how well we escape here. Good shots, though. Nice. Good pressure. Let's just keep running away. We care about our own life here. If your Moira paths differently, just leave. Leave. Just leave. This is way too dangerous. Just leave. If your Moira dies here, it's her fault. Just accept that this Moira is dead if she fucks up, or she'll live if she makes the right play. But right now, our life is more important than our Moira's. Because if you try and save your Moira's life, you're putting yourself at risk, right? Who has the most carry potential in a game? The only person that you can genuinely rely on to carry your games is yourself. Therefore, you're the most important, and you should make sure that you stay alive over your teammates. So here, I would say, fuck you, Moira, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I have to make sure I live. So I would not help this Moira out here. And a higher elo, that like you would get fucking annihilated by this Kiriko and the Genji. They would just dive you like hard. and you would probably die. They don't seem to be pressuring you out though, and your team has rotated back. So it's situations like these where it can be a little bit hard to coach because the elo's a little lower and the correct plays are obviously not getting made. Where you've clearly made a mistake here, but you weren't punished for it because the elo is too low for them to punish you for it. So generally, it would have been better for you to escape because higher elo players would say, we have an advantage, just fucking kill these guys. And if they were just going to either target you or the Moira. If the Moira path correctly, you're going to heal each other and you're both going to get out. Or you're going to separate and one of you are definitely dead. And you really want to make sure it's not you. Because you don't want to have to rely on your team to help you here. Good damage, good damage. Good try on the MR. Nothing wrong with that. Fighting the Genji. I think we burst a little too early here. What's our health at? Yeah, 150. We don't need to be bursting on 150. 150 is not low enough for us to be scared of anything. I think once he right clicks you again, once you get to like he can right click melee you, then you're like scared. If you're like you could probably take like 1 or 2 more shurikens here before you burst. But it's not the end of the world. I just think it was a little early. Team is dying. Doing damage to the Doom, it's fine. We're exo jumping a lot. I don't like it. We should just die here. Like our team is like there's no point staggering. Just like stand still and let them kill you. Like this is hard staggering if they kill you now. This is really, really bad. This is really bad if they kill you. Oh my god, this is so crazy that you're alive here. What happened? Okay, in a higher elo you would have died instantly or they would have purposefully staggered you. Here, they obviously didn't really have the mechanical ability to just damage you enough to kill you. But in a higher elo, your team would flame the shit out of you for trying to survive here. Dying on purpose is better. So although you've killed 2 and you've given your team a massive advantage, it was a mistake. You've done well, but not dying here on purpose was a mistake. I'm the cream of the crop. No, don't jump off high ground. No. Like, look at this. Like, to a high elo player, this is... Oh, that's glorious. That looks delicious. You have so much free sightline. You can heal your team from up here. You're safe. So much damage. You have every angle available to watch them try and leave. Oh, it's perfect to be up here. There's no reason to jump down. I don't like it. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Ooh, like, look at what's happened. We've used our burst, and we've popped our window in a bad spot. All because 5 seconds ago, or whatever it was, 10 seconds ago, we decided we wanted to jump off this high ground. Like, do you see how, like, you still would have had this cooldown for yourself and your team, you still would have had your window for yourself and your team, and you would have been in a better spot to heal your team and damage, plus you would have been safer. Like, up here, it's a no-brainer. You gotta be up here. But as soon as you jump down, you start causing your team issues. Because it's situations like these where you might go, why is my diva not DMing me? And there is truth to that. Your diva probably should be DMing you right now. You need help. However, it's also not up to your diva to babysit you and to just deal with all of your mistakes, right? It's up to you to make sure you survive first. And if your diva helps you, it's a bonus. Generally speaking, unless you play perfectly or near perfectly like higher elo players do, but the enemy team also does and they manage to get a good engage on you, something like that, then your diva's like, it's up to her to help you there. But in a situation like this, you're putting yourself at like a lot of risk jumping off this high ground, and we're gonna see that it very quickly becomes dangerous. So we pop our window in a really bad spot. This is way too deep, way too close to the enemy team. They're just gonna walk through this and kill us. Plus, we've been speared, we've been stunned, we can't help our team right now because we need to focus on helping ourselves. So our team can no longer get any of our assistance because we need to focus on us first. So we're running away, we're fighting to try and get away, we're healing. Wow, I'm really surprised we didn't lose this fight. Good damage. I like that you're not scared to do damage though. I'm a big fan of how much damage you're trying to do. This is nice. Even if you're missing sometimes, you're still doing well. Not bad. So, a few mistakes that fight, and some pretty major ones, but generally not the end of the world because of the elo we're in. But hopefully we want to try and get rid of some of these bad habits. Even if you're not getting punished for them, doesn't mean they're not a mistake. Like right now, we don't really... Can I want to get back into Overwatch? Any tips? Yeah, dude, of course I do. Of course I do. Anyway, like, we don't really want to be pushing the bot here, to be honest. Like, we don't really need to be doing this. We just want to get on a nice position here, right? Like, even just, like, up on the sky bridge or whatever you would call this. Just, like, up on this high ground. You're just chilling out. You're nice and safe. You have plenty of places to rotate to. You're near your team. You kind of don't want to be the one on the bot, generally. But here it's not the end of the world, because you only have one Genji engaging on you, and your soldier's not too far away. But in general, like, a good team is going to say, Bap's pushing car, and then the enemy team is just going to all rotate and try and kill you. And even if you're forcing resources, it doesn't really matter, because a higher elo team is just gonna kill you for doing this. Not the end of the world, though. We'll see how it works out. We're fighting, okay, force a cooldown. Fantastic. Great 1v1. Fantastic. Really well played. You made distance on him. You made sure you had to use his cooldowns if he wanted to close distance, which is really good. You know for a fact that if he wanted to kill you, he had to use those resources, and you know you didn't have to use any, so you were just at an advantage in the 1v1. That was a really well played 1v1. I like that. I would have liked if you went up on the high ground earlier, but all good. This Hanzo's unsavable. I would just let him die there. Like, he fucked up. He's gonna die there. There's no point taking resources away from the rest of your team because he made a mistake. Oh, I don't like that anymore. I do not like this anymore. I know. Okay, so we're fighting. Does anyone in chat know why this Immort is so bad? There's a couple of reasons, but there's one predominant reason as to why this Immort is so bad. Anyone in chat know? Any guessers? Any knowers? Perhaps any knowers in chat? I'll give you 10 more seconds to answer this. Vulnerability to the flank is very good. But the main problem is we're fighting a Doomfist here. Now, even if he doesn't have punch on cooldown, he's going to very soon. And he's just going to punch you off of this Immort. This Immort would make more sense if it was up against this wall, where if Doom was punching people into it, then obviously he wouldn't be able to finish them off because the Immort is there. So he wouldn't want to waste his punch here. But with this Immort here, it is so easy for him to push people out of this Immort and farm them. We shouldn't have popped this Immort anyway. Like, our team's not in enough danger. Like, it's Soldier and Moira versus Doom. They can beat this at 2v1. But even if this was just a 1v1, popping Immort like this, the Doom is just going to punch them out of the Immort, and then they're going to have to spend all their time trying to run back into it, and it's just like, it's creating so much space and creating like so much chaos in your backline that even if he doesn't kill this guy, he's got Immort out, the Immort wasn't good, the guy can't even fight back because he has to spend all of his time trying to get back inside the Immort so he can survive long enough. And all while you're trying to save him and duel him at the same time, the enemy team is making space, they're taking the space, they're like setting up in areas, they're creating flanks, they're going on off angles. Like, there's so much chaos being created by this Doom, and this Immort is not helping the situation because it's so easy to deal with, right? So I'm not a big fan of the Immort. I think it was more of just like you were kind of hoping. But we are healing now. Good. Are we gonna leave? Dude, I almost pogged so hard. If we started leaving, I would've... we should leave. Your Moira... Listen. We get a kill, though. That's really good. When we see this kill, we go back. We're like, okay, we actually want to fight now. A little bit. Or not fight, but like we at least want to like give a little pressure. We don't want to give them everything for free. Again, we're popping that burst a little too early. We don't need that. Remember, that's our survivability too, not just your team's. We don't need that. I like this, doing a bit of damage. A lot of pre-heal though, even though when he's not in danger, he doesn't really need any pre-heal. But you are at least pre-healing. Hero Mastery is live, PogChamp. Nice. What even is that? I don't know what Hero Master is. I don't care enough about the game to know what any of like the cosmetic or like UI shit is. I'm just like me like competitive. I don't know. Good damage though. I'm a fan. No need for Immort. No need for this. I mean, this is such an impactful cooldown. We don't need this right now. Probably just saw our Hanzo was critical and just like zero brain to put it down. But like, we're fine. We just like land one right click here and he's not in any danger, right? He's gonna be fine. Bad Immort. Not good. Now he's popping ult and we're not gonna have it for ult. So if he targets you, you die. Goes for the wrong target, but He might kill the soldier anyway. We pop regenerative burst again. Yeah, this one didn't make sense either. Hero Mastery is just cosmetic for Overwatch 2 version of Overwatch 1 levels. Oh, so it's levels. Oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Okay, that's actually a pretty cool change. I like that, especially for the casuals. That's nice. I'm not a big fan of regenerative burst here either. I mean, like, he's not in enough danger. He's not about to receive a bunch of burst damage that's gonna kill him. He's generally pretty safe. But I like you just shooting the fuck out of the Doom there. That's lovely. I'm a big fan of that. I'm loving the damage. The damage is absolutely fantastic. It's really, really good. Not scared to shoot it at all. Again, I don't like us pushing bot here. Like, this is not our job, right? The cart is not our job. I know I was talking about that. Yeah, very cool. It's a cool idea. I like it. I mean, like, the fact that we're hyping up, like, something as basic as, like, an XP system is pretty crazy. So you know the game's in a bad state. But it is cool that they brought it back, at least. It's better than nothing. High ground? Nice, I like it. Peering through this little angle? Real? Very real. I'm liking it. Okay, we dropped down a little area earlier than I'd like, but it's okay. We are going with our team at least. Okay, we're gonna throw our emerald down. Okay, chat, something very, very nice that I just saw. Very nice. That is relatively high level understanding of Baptiste. I like that. So let's actually go over exactly what I liked about that so much. We see the Orisa coming in. It's pretty obvious she's about to pop ult. Okay. Pops ult. We get sucked in. We don't immort straight away. What we do is, we turn around, and we throw the immort at the edge of the ultimate. That way, our immort leaks over the side of the ult. So that means, from anywhere from here all the way out to here, we're safe from it. So we're either going to get to the edge and take damage, but it's okay because we're still an immort, or we're going to escape it and we're still safe because we're still an immort. I like that. I like the leaking the barrier over the edge so that even if this ult hits you and boops you away, you're still safe. An immort, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect immort placement. Really nice. He does get punched though, and he's a great burst usage. Fantastic. Really, really good. I'm not a big fan of this window either. Like, it's not looking at, like, because here's the thing. Like, the team have the advantage, right? The robot is right next to them. They've got all of this space. We just burnt all of our cooldowns. Our team is really, really struggling to stabilize. This window is going to buy us some time to shoot down this angle. But realistically, the enemy team is just going to say, okay, and just hide from this. Because they don't have to fight. Like, there's no reason for them to fight right now. I mean, the enemy team's in the lead. They can just chill. They don't have to go aggressive in this window. But they're probably going to anyway because it's platinum. Yeah, but like, they're hiding a little bit now. See, and now we just got this window here where we're not really doing it. Like, high-level players would just say, like, okay, man, and just wouldn't peek the window. The window's not great. Okay, I like it. Good heal priority there on the Moira. Unfortunately, we didn't save her. Oh, wow. He kills the Kiriko. Kills the Orisa. Okay, this is where we start, like... We need a little bit more awareness. I haven't really seen you doing much spinning around this game. So, generally, a pretty good skill to have on support is just looking around. Like, right now, there's downtime. You can't... Like, your D.Va's full HP. You can't see an enemy. Let's just spin around. Let's have a look. Where's our team? Let's spin around. We're not seeing any outlines. Oh, we see outlines. There's 2 people over there. That means we have 2 dead teammates. And our Moira just died, which means we're down 3 currently. Just because we all spun around. So we spun around and gained a ton of information just from looking around us. So even if you're not super aware of things going on outside of, like, your vision, if you struggle with paying attention to things that you can't see, then it's good to, like, every, like, couple of seconds just spin around and have a look at what's going on. Like, evaluate what's happening. Because right now, you could press tab and say, okay, 1 dead, let's fight. We could maybe fight this with 1 dead. But because we're not spinning around and looking, we don't know that those 2 people who are alive are actually in the spawn room, right? Unless we're, like, paying, like, proper attention. But it's Plat, so I think, like, we could struggle. So generally here, we'd spin around, we'd look, we go, holy shit, we're losing very badly, we leave. And if your D.Va doesn't and she dies, she's a feeder, we don't care. We don't try and save her. Like, if this D.Va's going in, like, the D.Va's dead. Leave her to die. There is literally no... Don't use a cooldown on her. Just die. Just let her die. This D.Va is trolling. We need to leave. We really need to leave. I'm really confused why the enemy team is not just killing you right now. We don't need regenerative burst there. Iffy cooldown usage again. Like... I mean, like... We're putting up a really good fight here considering, but... It's still a mistake. We should not be fighting this. We should be backing up. Some aim problems, all good. Nice. We keep like exo booting everywhere. We don't need to be moving around like this, right? You're actually like, here's the thing that a lot of lower level players don't really, or at least have a hard time grasping. You're easier to hit the more you jump because your movement is more predictable, right? If you jump, the only place you can go is the direction you were moving when you jumped. Bar some exceptions, depending on your height, you can manipulate the direction you're traveling as you fall a little bit. But generally speaking, the only way you're going is the speed that you were moving in a general direction, plus your vertical momentum will push you up and gravity will pull you down, giving you a very nice arc that you can track. So the higher you up you go, the more abused it's going to be, and you're going to be an easier kill. You got to keep your feet planted on the ground a little better, because here, like exo jumping, spamming this on cooldown, you're like dinner to DPS players. They're just going to like fucking annihilate you for doing this. Okay. I don't like the Immort. Fighting Doom. Doom is dead. We are looking at D.Va. Think about what our D.Va wants to do right now. Our D.Va does not want to be in the face of this Orisa player. Because she's like, I'm going to die. Where does this D.Va want to go? Away. Where is away? It's either out this way, or it's this way. So, how would we do this properly? We're looking at the D.Va. Which direction is she going? She's going back. She's going down this street. We can see she's going down the street. We do not want to throw Immort on top of her because she's getting Javelin Spend. And we can see she's getting Javelin Spend, meaning she's going to get pushed out of the Immort. We want to throw the Immort where the Javelin Spend is pushing her. So we want to throw it like back here, really. So just like the very edge of our Immort. She's in the very, very edge, and she has a lot of distance to get pushed back further and still be an Immort. Because when we're throwing our Immort directly on top of the D.Va, like, by the time your Immortality's got here, she's almost already used up all the space that you gave her with the Immort. Like, the Immort is literally not even off the floor yet, and she's almost been fully pushed out of it. Look, by the time our Immort is still not fully up at the apex, and she's out of it, because you haven't thrown it back far enough away. So, it's just something you should pay attention to. Like, what direction is my D.Va going? Where does she want to go? Where is the enemy team forcing her to move to? Okay, that's where I'm throwing my Immort then. Where she's going to be when she genuinely needs it. Because right now this Immort is useless because we threw it too far forward, right? If we had thrown it where I said, like right around here, she would basically just be getting to the midway point of where I wanted to throw it. So, she got thrown in the trap anyway. But she would have survived if you had done the Immort properly. But all good. D.Va gets demacked. Your Zen does take advantage of the Immort being there though, which is nice. Not justification for the mistake, but good for your Zen player to be proactive there. Good damage. We don't have Immort here. We need to not be grouped up as a team. We need to make space away from the potential Junkrat tower. Which it looks like we're doing. Although we are frontlining pretty hard, which I'm not a fan of. We should be backing up more here. Again, like a lot of exo jumping that we really don't have to be doing right now. Ooh, the Immort comes out a little late. Was that on cooldown? Let's have a look. When did you actually get it? Ah, you threw it as soon as you got it. Okay. Valiant effort. Nothing you could have done there. Nice try. Only real problem there is you should have backed up like way sooner and you never would have died to this. Your Zen would have died. Because you need to remember, like, Overwatch is a team game and you should be a good teammate. You should try and be a good teammate. But 99% of the time, the only player you know for a fact can carry a game is yourself. Therefore, you're the most important. Like, as soon as you hear this tire pop, you're like, fuck my team, I don't care, I'm leaving. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not dying to this tire. Because if I die to this tire, I don't know what the fuck my team are going to do. But if My team dies to this tower. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, right? Don't trust your team like this. As soon as you hear this tower, you're like, fuck it, I'm walking away from my team. Like, I'm gonna make distance away from my team so the splash doesn't kill me, and I'm leaving. And whatever happens, happens. So I'm not a big fan of you trying to be like a war hero here and save them, but it's also not the end of the world. Why did we regen burst? Oh, we just fat fingered. Okay, well, I don't think I need to give you advice on not fat fingering. I mean, I do all the time though. Okay. Trying the heals. Oh, this Orisa is a free kill. Go aggro on here. Yeah, I like this. Pushing with your team, doing damage. Again, like, look at this beautiful high ground that you could get on top of right now. I mean, like, that is a wonderful bit of high ground. Good damage though. Very nice. Good awareness to check on your diva and see what she was up to. You saw her rotate away. You turned around and had a look. That's nice. I'm not a big fan of shooting the Doom punch right now because his health bar is like full, right? You're not going to kill him through his punch. Or his block, sorry. You're only going to give him an advantage by shooting his block here. If he was like 1 or 2 bars, I can understand it. But he's full HP and he's got a Moira heal on him. You are not killing that Doom through the block, so you're only giving him empowered punch. He's probably going to use it on you. Oh, he does use it on your teammate. So do you see how you shooting the Doom here? Well, not necessarily just you. Your team was doing it too. But you were a factor in the fact that you've just had to pop Immortality now. Like, had you not been shooting this guy, there's a potential that you didn't have to use your Immort here because this punch never would have happened. And your soldier is also not playing inside the fucking Immort, but it's all good. You're healing him. I don't like you playing this close to him though. Like, you can heal from far away, right? You can just like walk backwards, and if your soldier breaks LOS and loses the fight or whatever because he's decided to break LOS with you, even though when you were trying to rock to safety, it's his fault. It doesn't matter. Like, at this point, we should be walking back and trying to get on the high ground again. I like you keeping the extra jump powered here. This is really, really smart because if the Doom tries to land on you, you're going to be able to jump up. And I think we're going to see you do it. Alright, all good. In a trap. Let's have a look at that burst again. Nah, didn't need it. Didn't need it. We're using our cooldowns a little too... Especially our burst. Like, we're okay with Immort. We just have some struggle placing it. And sometimes we struggle timing it. Like, sometimes we want to get really, really greedy and not use it. And sometimes we're a little too, like, liberal with it. And we just fucking throw it everywhere. So, like, we got be a little bit more reactive with our cooldowns and be like, do I need it? Like, do I absolutely need it? And then making your decision. Because at this point, like, 15-second cooldown is no joke. That's a decently long cooldown. And it's also a lot of the reason you can survive. So it's important that you need to really go, I don't really want to use it. Like, you have to be greedy with your burst, because that's what's keeping you alive as well. Not just your team. You were shooting the block a little bit, but you stopped, which is nice. Shooting the Weaver. Are we going to jump up over this high ground and hunt him? Come on, go. Hunt him. No, go on the high ground. Okay, this works. Okay, good try. It would have been better to jump up on the high ground, though. Earlier. Kill him. Where did we reload out there? We don't need to reload. 27 bullets, 13 healing is really not a great reload, especially when we're seeing a Junkrat shooting. But maybe I'm expecting a little much. It's alright. Ooh, we just popped burst for absolutely no reason. I think we fat fingered again. I think that was a fat finger. I can't see exactly why he would do it. We'll assume it's a fat finger. Ooh, it's an incredible immortality field. Holy shit, dude. Absolutely perfect. That's a prime example of what you're actually doing. You evaluate, you look, my soldier's in a trap, he's getting shot at, my baby diva is calling mech, 2 people I need to save, not greedy with it all, sees the opportunity, throws it instantly, lands perfectly, aces. Absolutely incredible. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Honestly, you learn to use Immort like this, you'll rank up on that alone. That was incredible. It does look like we're going to lose, but good effort. I like this kind of extra jumping the slightly above the high ground and doing some damage. You are jumping a little high though. If you were jumping a little lower to just kind of like head peek it, then and doing some damage, it would have been a lot nicer. But you're jumping up really, really high, so this, especially on HP this low, it's not good. Okay, it is overtime. Right. Ooh, don't walk into the Orisa like this. You can your heal will splash around this corner. Just don't walk away from your team and out of the trank to try and save this Hanzo. Like, he's gonna come to you. He has to come to you, and you can just shoot your heal at him. But look how much distance you close. You give her such an easy javelin. Now you're in a precarious situation. Your team has managed to do quite well there, keeping you alive. Just grab the Mega. Incredible Immort usage again. Really good. Happy with that. We need to back up to safety, though. We're playing way too far back. Or way too far forward, I apologize. Way too far forward. We're not scared enough. Understand it's Immort and you need to be on it right now, but it's up to your team. Like, if we were further back, we would have lived, right? Because remember, you're the carry. You're the one carrying the game. You have to be the one to say, I'm going to deliberately let my team take some punches here so I can give myself an advantage, because I'm the one who knows I can carry, right? But we do lose. So, actually, quite a lot of good in that. Quite a lot was done well. There was some good moments where we used Immort very well. There was good moments where we chose to either heal or damage pretty well. A lot of pathing and positional errors, which is okay. Some awareness problems where we're not really looking around us too much. Some cooldown problems. Just generally making a lot of mistakes in each area. But there's a lot of times where you're making really good plays and you've clearly got an understanding of the game, which is really healthy. Especially when that soldier was in the trap, you turn, you see instantly, like, super fast decision making, Immort on the ground form, perfect. And there's other times where you're kind of just like tossing it out for no reason, so just like kind of build that consistency of being a little more greedy with your cooldowns and saying, I don't really think he needs Immort right now. Obviously, use it if you genuinely believe he does, but there's a lot of times where people are taking like 25 damage, you're like, fucking Immort and regenerative burst and heal him 7 times. It's like, you don't really need to be doing that. Another thing, I think it will rank up alone if you fix your positioning a lot. Like, be a little greedier with your positioning. I'm sure I can skip to like any part in this. Look, we can skip to any part. Positional error, right? Instantly. We can not be up in this high ground. No reason not to. Like, there's no disadvantage to us being up on this high ground. We're creating distance between us and the enemy team. We're giving ourselves a nicer angle. We're giving ourselves greater safety. It's way nicer to just be up on this high ground, generally speaking. Plus, we have more areas we can path to. Like, let's say that we get flanked by the Genji. We can always drop down here, and then we can fight in the Mega Room. We can rotate into our team. We can play in this corner. But, like, right here, you're so exposed. And although you're not necessarily in any danger at this moment, there's still potential that, or it's still a bad habit, right? Because even if there's no danger, it doesn't matter. You still have to treat it as if there is a danger, otherwise you're going to build that bad habit. So yeah, some errors, but otherwise, for Plat 5, this was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with the damage output. I like you actually not being scared to damage. Picking up some limbs as well. I think if I want to give you one target area to focus on, I want to tell you to greed your life a little harder and play these kind of safer angles. Not necessarily safer, but angles that give you a greater advantage, right? Like, I want you to, like, every couple of seconds, or like maybe every like 10, 15, 20 seconds or so, look at where you're standing and say, is there a place I could be standing better? And you're probably going to lose some games or lose some fights because of this, but I want you to say, if there's a place you can stand that's better than where you are, go to where it's better. It doesn't matter if your team really need you, if you need to be really proactive doing something, you need to realize you've made a mistake and actively fix it, because then you'll become subconscious, and then, although you're probably going to lose some fights in some games, because you're going to go, I really need to move, and you path when you shouldn't, it's still good that you're teaching your brain to realize, I'm in a bad spot, I need to move, right? Because then you're just going to subconsciously decide, I'm going on the high ground, or I'm going to play this angle instead, or I'm going to play here so I can fight for a certain angle with my team, or whatever it may be, right? So don't be scared to like take these kind of like nicer like high grounds, okay? Because you're going to get a huge advantage from them. But otherwise, this was pretty good. I'm genuinely not too upset with the gameplay. Pretty good. Some errors, but for Plat 5, this was very, very, very strong for Platinum. Very happy.